Welcome. My name is Gena Timberman, and you are listening to Timber People, a podcast about people who, like timber, are strong, build and create, who gather us together like fuel that feeds fire. People who support structures of our community that uplift and protect. Welcome to the show. What a gift. I'm so excited to have my dear brother friend, Chance Rush, joining us today. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? I cannot believe I'm here.
Awesome. Me too. You know, we've been talking about this opportunity to interview and to catch up and share with the listeners, for a long time now. And you're doing so much. And I know that if people, your friends already know, but people Google your name, they see you all over the country and doing really cool things throughout Indian country. And you're doing great work, Chance.
Oh, well, thank you, G. And so are you. Honestly,
Thank you.
I'm just blown away. I remember you telling me a year ago that you were going to do this for a year and see, and you've been very consistent at it.
Yeah.
Great topics. And I'm just, I'm so impressed. You know, I'm sure you get that all the time, but I really am. I'm grateful. I'm impressed. I mean, just your energy and, the way you engage with your audience and your the ones that you're interviewing and things like that. So to be on this podcast is a blessing to me. I want you to know that.
Thank you so much. Well, it's a blessing and an honor to me. I'm grateful for my friends and colleagues like you and many others that have really helped me with the podcast and just coming on the show. And we have a lot to talk about. We've known each other for probably over 32 years.
And we look the same. We still look the same.
Speak for yourself.
We look the same, ladies and gentlemen. Come down to the studio and see for yourself.
Oh, wow. We met through Wings of America, and it was such an exciting, really cool time to be in high school, competing, and have the opportunity to go out and to be with other Native people, a part of the Southern Plains team for Wings.
Yeah. Jacobson House. It's
yeah.
Seems like every November we would always meet up at the Jacobson House, and in that, just to be able to meet our families, meet your father and your family, and same thing, my grandpa and my mom
your
and
mom.
stuff. So
I loved your mother.
Yeah.
Just what a special woman she was.
Yeah. So this is just great. So I just have to ask you, and I know you're supposed to interview me, but I got to know, like, getting into, Timber People, like, how has it changed your life? Or how is it, like, what is your feeling when you come into the studio?
Well, I'll tell you, I travel some for work, and I work primarily from my home doing some different things. And, I really miss many aspects of, going in to an office and being a part of a team where you're collaborating with a number of people and exchanging. And so I really try to keep that sense of social and networking, opportunity present in my life. And what Timber People has really done for me is to really have the opportunity to sit down with my friends and, people in our community and colleagues to learn about what they're doing. And no matter how long I've known someone, undoubtedly, like when we sit across the table from one another, I learn something new that they're doing. And it's just it's been a really thoughtful, really, really positive experience for me to continue networking in this way. And I love to just connect with people, and it really uplifts my spirit and my energy when I come into the studio and sit down with my friends.
Believe it or not, we were at the Tribal Self-Governance Conference in, Arizona, and your name came up. And we were all talking about you. I think some people from IHS, we're all talking about you. Like, have you heard her podcast and stuff?
Thank you.
How does that make you feel knowing, like, you're not even there, man? People are talking about your good energy, your good
Thank you.
interview and messaging. How does that make you?
That means so much to me. Well, I enjoy it, and I hope that other people enjoy it too, that reciprocity of giving and sharing, and I get a lot out of it. So when someone tells me that they enjoy and appreciate the show, that really means so much.
Yeah, we'll keep it up because, like I was saying, coming into this interview, like, you're one of the most generous people that I know. You're always good-hearted,
Thank
good
you.
people, and you deserve this platform, and you have all the right things to say in this platform. Even your music, man. In the beginning, I seriously, I literally feel like I want to go to a coffee shop and get a fancy drink and read the Bible or read the book or something. I just feel like it's elegant and it's
Thank
catchy
you
and it's
so
like,
much. Thank
yeah.
you. I wish I could say I was responsible for that, but Santiago did a great job.
Well, Santiago, man, good job, bro. Because it makes me just I feel sophisticated. I really do.
Well, bringing up the Jacobson house like you just did, I'm really excited about what's in store for the future of the Jacobson Foundation, and I've been excited to be on the board, from recent times as well. And when I go there to the Jacobson House, I have so many great memories. And you brought that up, and that was a really special time of community building, connecting with other Native people, with running and wellness and fitness, and being a part of a team with other Native people from around the state. And we just had so much fun. And we have to give a shout out to Jenny Monet, because she'd recently passed through town and I didn't get to see her, but I love to try to keep up with her, or would love to see her soon if I could. So we have good memories with our team.
Man, Jenny, you better be listening to this. Last I heard, she was in New York City. Her and Laura were doing their thing out there in New York City. But yeah, absolutely. I know that you're referring about Wings of America, and just some great times. And honestly, today, Gena, I feel like, that's the reason I do what I do today,
Right.
working with tribes all around the United States is, just from getting knowledge from that. And, it taught me everything from staying in shape, being an entrepreneur, understanding our culture, our ways. And, you taught me a lot of that when we were on the road together, and so I thought that was cool. I remember one time at Colorado State, everyone was trying to argue around about a youth group showing up late and everything was when Gena was like, no, we're going over here. We're going to stay out of this. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if you remember that, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a lot of good experiences,
Mhm.
a lot of challenging experiences. But I know we had, back in the day, we were on planes a lot and had a lot of
I
crazy
know.
plane experiences.
Yeah.
And, it was really fun to see you excel the way that you have over the years, and still today. And I know that so much of your discipline and your values have come from being a committed athlete and for really honoring your wellness journey. I know about your All-American titles, your national accomplishments with running, and we used to follow, the college runners and, follow people and looked up to so many people. And it was so great to be a witness to your success. And I've always been so proud of you for everything you're doing. And back then, it's fun to think back about watching you run and how committed you were to that pursuit of excellence in the sport.
Yeah. Well, I still try to do that today. And, going back to Wings real quick, shortly after Wings, and then doing a couple other jobs, I just bought my domain name and I bought chancerush.com thinking I was just going to do running camps.
Right.
And, from there, it just kind of domino affected to doing speaking engagements and doing comedy shows and doing whatever I could to not necessarily get my name out there, but just give the medicine. I think that's one of the successful reasons, even with this podcast, is, it's good medicine. That's why it's working.
Right.
It's not so much who everyone just knows who, Gena is, or, who the guest is, but, people are receptive to good medicine. And I think, for 40 plus episodes, I know that, people tune in, you save lives. Well, you encourage lives, you save situations and whatever it may be. And, just create, being creative. And I love that you're doing Timber People, because it's being creative. Same thing with, what I had going on. I bought chancerush.com, worked as a caseworker over in Shawnee, decided to go full time with it. And I've always lived by this. I know you didn't ask this question, but I was living by this policy or this code. It's called the 10, 15, 25, 50. And I give 10% to God, 15% to my overhead, 25% into investments or retirement, and 50% to live on. And when you build a game plan, and when you build I don't know if it's a business plan or not, but like my job description is 2.5 hours every morning in the gym. That's what my job is. I mean, people want to see someone who's on stage who takes care of themselves, or commits to wellness and things like that. So just wanting to be one of a kind, and I got that from running. I got that from wings. I got that from just good medicine and good people.
Absolutely. And the relationships that
Yeah.
we build. I mean, no doubt, undoubtedly, that you are reconnecting with people that you met 20, 30 years ago. And, we did the unity camps as well,
Yeah.
all over the country. And, I remember being with people like DJ Vanis and others, Ryan Aduddle and
Right.
so many other people, Martha Pula. I mean, we could spend the podcast talking about, all the people and all the cool things they're doing now. And, but to see people like yourself really continue that culture of inspiring people and living with a code of value and structure that really, like this podcast, would hope supports community building and sharing with one another.
Right. And think about that. To piggyback off that, think about that. Think what DJ Vanis is doing. Think of what Gena Timberman is doing. Think what Chance is doing. We were all, for our listeners out there, when you have good medicine and you always give good medicine, there's going to be situations, there may be people, there may be whatever it may be that tries to interfere with you delivering good medicine. Here's the thing. I remember we were on an airplane and we were all just sitting on an airplane. There was a guy to my left who had a really cool necklace on with a claw on it. And you and I were talking, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to that same camp." And we started talking. And I remember you said this in one of your talks out in San Diego. He said, "I'm going to be an author." I said, "I was going to be a motivational speaker." You said you were going to be a lawyer. You told that story out in San Diego. And all these years later, but how cool it was to see you on stage tell that story in San Diego, because the three of us did not know this. The day one speaker was me.
Right.
The day two speaker was DJ. The day three speaker was Gena.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know that we were speaking 1, 2, 3. When you give good medicine, God will give something back to you. And that's how it worked out. So anyway, I had to share that because you brought up our brother DJ. Big shout out to DJ Vanis, Native Discovery. Keep doing a great job.
Right. Yeah. I know that you have been consulting and you really support people coming together and learning and sharing and building upon their sense of community from different events and workshops. And you're a great storyteller. You have such a great memory. I wish I had as good a memory as
and
you.
I was the one I was the one in the bad car wreck, so I shouldn't have this memory. But
well, you're a warrior in so many ways. But many may not know that you're also a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know, like you, as I said, you're a great storyteller. You use humor in so many fun and creative ways. And you're also an actor. And I've been so excited for you with all of the opportunities that you've had, especially in recent times in working on set for Killers of the Flower Moon. And you're doing so many great things. It's like I almost don't know where to start, where to dive in with what's going on with you.
Well, first of all, I'll say this, one, it is all God. And, you talked about speaking and workshops and, whatever it may be, as you probably know, Gena, one of my favorite things to do is to preach. And, to be able to give my testimony through athletics, being Native and, loving God, there's just nothing like it. Someone can bring me in to do a keynote on, sovereignty or wellness. But when someone says, "Hey man, we want you to get up on for 45 minutes and tell us how much you love, God." That's the best, and, I used to live here in Oklahoma City. Then we moved to Tulsa. Then I moved down to Dallas. I was blessed to get a stage play. And, there was there was a rep, there was an agent in the audience,
Yeah.
which was pretty neat. And from there, that agent was just like, "Hey, man, like this is you have what it takes." And sure enough, I uprooted my family. We moved to Dallas to kind of be close to Austin. We looked at Atlanta. Obviously, we're not going to live in LA and New York or Albuquerque, but we wanted to be in a place where I could just jump on a plane and get to everywhere I wanted to go. And
Right.
what also helped me was getting out of my comfort zone. Like here, we had TJ's tribe right up the road, or we had my mom's tribe right down the road. But when you're living in Dallas, you're out there. You're kind of out there on an island, and even though we have 40 to 60,000 Native Americans that live in the Dallas Metroplex,
Right.
we're all scattered out, and we're not like that close knit. Not to disrespect our people in Dallas, but there's nothing like a close knit family, a tribal family in Oklahoma. Yeah. So anyway, that's it's been a blessing. I'm looking forward to doing more roles and whatnot. But truly, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that like you that I've been given, and just watching things grow. It's been pretty amazing, and I know that I'm not supposed to talk this much, but I missed the wrong turn, and I went down and I exited off of the Martin Luther King Boulevard, and I looked over to my right and I saw FAM, and I saw everything coming up. And it's so crazy, Gena. Like 20 years ago, I remember you would come to our chamber luncheons when I was living here. I remember you would you would promote and you would encourage and you would get tribes to support. You got individuals to support what FAM was wanting to do, and it took the effort of everybody, but
Oh,
to see you on that front
absolutely.
line, to see you on that front line 20 years ago, and then look what we're doing,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Well,
you're doing some great things too,
thank you. Well, it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the positive support of you and so many others in the community. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you are doing. And you mentioned moving all around and everything and your roles. I was so excited to hear about your role as the lead in our friend Mary Catherine Nagel's Sovereignty stage play. What a cool opportunity.
Man, Gena, I got goosebumps because it was something I wanted to try different. I wanted to try something different. And, obviously with my mom, in the car accident, I mean, my life changed. It flipped, didn't really know any direction. So I wanted to do something I never did before. And it was actually, I was trying to go watch Sovereignty in DC. I was out in DC for a few days. Sovereignty was sold out. Her stage play was sold out. And I was telling my wife about it, and then I remember came home. She was like, "Hey, they're casting for some parts in Sovereignty. It's gonna be taking place here in Tulsa." I went down there. I was going after Wadey. Wadey was a really cool character. He didn't have a lot of lines. He was funny, and he even got to fight in the movie. And that was me, right? And I read for that part. And then next thing you know, Carol Dunn, UCO and UCLA professor, whatever her role is, she says, "Okay, well, I also want you to read for John Ridge, which was the lead role." So first time ever, and I read for it, and I got it, and I did great. I could not believe, I'm really glad that TJ helped me with reading my scripts. I went to class, I went to practice. And the only time I messed up was on the first night when I was talking to Andrew Jackson, and he was, saying he was clowning on us, right? And I said, I didn't, you're not supposed to say this back then, but I said, "Okay, look, man," I said, "Okay, look, man." But that was the only time. Other than that, man, I knocked it out of the park, and you just grow from there. And I'm very grateful to Mary Catherine for giving me the opportunity, and to trusting me to share her history, her family, with Indian country. And I think it's just cool that I have people in my life such as, Mary Catherine,
Right.
and you, and,
Oh, thank you.
Wilson, just good people,
Yeah.
so,
Well, when you say, still challenging yourself
Yeah.
and getting out of your comfort zone. That, I mean, to me would be such a daunting experience, and the fact that you committed to it, excelled, and what a really special opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still, I'm still trying to understand a lot of things because I'll tell you, Gina, that something that is really reminds me to stay with it because, you know, if I don't make moves, then we don't eat. If I don't travel, we don't eat. And you know what that's like. I mean, and through my years, I've always held on to a lot of people may not recognize or want to acknowledge your efforts, but God's collecting them.
Right.
And that's the one thing that I hold on to every day is like, God, I'm with you, man. I mean, I'm not with, a clique. I'm not with the who is who. I'm not with, man, I listen to you. And he opens up these doors and just came off of a 2-week trip. Big shout out to Gila River Indian Community. Governor Lewis, thank you for letting me come out there, be part of your community. Terry Lynn, thank you. Marcia. I also did the Native American Basketball Invitational.
That's so great.
And then I went out to Shimawavy, Indian tribe. Big shout out to tribal vice chairwoman Sheridan Silversmith, and also to Miranda Ward. Thank you very much for letting me come out to Chimawavy. And God just puts you in these places, just even like this studio, like think of the people that, Timber People is touching and encouraging and empowering. And it's an idea that you had. And God will always say, it's only an idea until you do something about it. And that's what Creator's been telling me this whole time. It's only an idea until you do something about it. So we're here and continue to be creative and,
Yeah. I marvel at how balanced you stay with that work-life balance. And, so much of what we do in our world in Indian country is so much connected to who we are and our cultures. And, when people say, don't take work so personally or that balance, it's not always easy because, you're on the road a lot. You also, many people may not know that you and your wife is Tyler English Rush, TJ, and you guys have 7 children.
Man, isn't that crazy? That's
I
crazy.
marvel at how you stay balanced with work and life and taking good care of yourself and your spiritual commitment too.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah. Well, and it's a blessing, it's a blessing. And, to have 7, children, 7 beautiful children, it's a lot of work. And I'm not saying that just, effort, but like financially, it's a lot of
right.
work.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But, God takes care of us, and just like he'll take care of anybody and everybody, and that's another thing that I've learned. I don't want to throw a lot of, spirituality in here. That's just maybe the person that I am. But, I always kind of see Creator. And I want to encourage that to our listeners out there is, don't see God as, a force or, a force of discipline, but, see Creator as a friend and a guide, and you'll get more out of it.
Right.
You'll understand, your spirituality. Sometimes spirituality is hard. It's hard. Sometimes I don't want to be spiritual,
right.
But other times I know that, that's always been the game plan. And, I feel the spirit in the room. This is good. I cannot believe I'm here. But anyway, my bad. I talk too much.
No, I love it. I love it. I welcome it. I know the listeners appreciate that too. A lot of people don't realize, I think of you as being from Oklahoma. You have such deep connections to North Dakota, Newtown, North Dakota. You're enrolled tribe, Hidatsa.
Yeah,
and then I remember us going up there on a camp up there with the 3 affiliated tribes. And what a fun time. We went to the powwow up there together, all over the place.
Yeah.
And just so much fun. We were going to at least maybe 2 to 4 reservations a week or something.
Yeah, I know we were. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was
so fun.
$9 an hour. And I don't know where we stayed, how we got there, how much we worked, how hot it was. We got paid $9 an hour. And I even think in North Dakota, I think that I think Gena kicked my brother out of the running camp, which he needed to go. I mean, he literally needed to go. So that was pretty cool. And I was thinking about that. We were talking earlier as just how nurturing you were with the Native youth back then.
Thank
When we were
you.
barely in college, it seemed. We always would go and do the running camps. And I was thinking, like, me and Philip were talking, like, man, she's gonna make a good mom one
Oh,
day.
thank you.
She's so nurturing and she's so friendly and so polite. And then it's just like, here we are today. You're still that person.
Thank
You're still good
you.
people. So, and honestly, Gena, thank you for all your hard work, in doing this. It takes a lot of effort, just to even come in here today and see you, I'm sure you beat it across town to be here, and then, sit with production and, mic everything up. It's a process, but to get your voice out there and give the opportunity for presenters to get their voices out there and all of this being heard. I mean, be grateful for that. I know that you are, but
Thank
you're
you.
not you're doing way more than what you think you are.
That means so much to me. And
Yeah.
I want to thank you for all you have done over the years and continue to do for Native people, for our youth, for our communities. You help tribes empower their people and you inspire. And I want to thank you for that. And you're still the same person. And
Man.
it just, I just feel like, thinking back, it feels like yesterday of
Yeah.
we were all going to the mall to find outfits to go to the Fugees
Oh, my.
concert because we had no clothes outside of our running clothes.
Yeah, and you and Martha were smart. I blew all my money on the Fugees. I blew all my money on the Fugees concert, that night. But thank you. And to anybody out there listening, just know that, your leadership, your good medicine makes an impact. So keep doing what you do, and like I said, you may not be recognized, and I know a lot of you aren't going for that. I know your audience isn't that type, but just stay with it, and spend more time praying about the situation. Replace that with the amount of time that you worry. Take out that time, the amount of time that you worry. Take that out. Replace it with praying. You'll see a big difference. You'll see a way different ball game. So, man, thank you for letting me join.
Absolutely.
Come
And
on today.
I love your words that you just expressed. I also love this motto that you share with so many others to inspire people. And it's the encouragement to use your personal talents to lead you to greatness.
Man, I tell you what, that's all you got. Ladies and gentlemen, take the gift that God gave you, put it on your shoulders. If it turns into a chip, if it turns into weight, stay with it, because that blessing, that gift that God has given you is going to get you through those doors. And just remember, man, they're not locked. They're closed, but they're not locked. You just got to go over there and you got to open them up. Let's go.
Absolutely. And I love on your website at chancerush.com which is a great website, by the way, that you list out your upcoming events and experiences where people can find you and conferences. And I always love when I expect to meet up with you, like days like today. But man, it's so great to run into you at a conference. I'm like, Chance.
Yay. I know. We saw each other out in Vegas.
Yeah. It's so
man,
great.
Everybody knows you. That was crazy, man. I normally I could just run into Gena Timberman just anywhere and visit with her, but good grief, we were out in Vegas and everybody, we were at one reception. Everybody was talking to you, man. I had to get in line.
No, I think it's the other way around. I think that's with you.
Yeah, then we went to a little fashion show. Same thing. Everybody was you knew everybody. So that's
what about
that's
when
cool.
we went to In-N-Out Burger and ran into each other?
Oh, I know. Oh man, hey. Her and Debbie, they weren't joking around, boy.
We needed to
ladies
eat.
and gentlemen, when Gena is in In-N-Out Burger, don't talk to her. No, I'm joking. No, it was good. Matter of fact, we were the ones. I was the one that was hangry, but
that was so fun.
Yeah, but big shout out. I know you mentioned upcoming events. I want to give a big shout out to Klamath Falls. I'll see you guys on August the 7th. Also, a really big shout out to the IHS Partnership Conference taking place in Phoenix, Arizona, August the 13th to the 15th. I have the privilege of serving as the Masters of Ceremony alongside with one of the greatest DJs that I know, in MC1. We'll be out there, and then
How fun.
yeah, and then Choctaw Nation coming to your community. I'll hit up two spots there, August 20 and 21. They'll all be on the website tonight. So just visit chancerush.com. Also, a really big plug from my main man, Rudy Indigenous, for hitting the road with me and, making me look good all the time. Also, my baby girl, Abby Rush, who's soon to be Dr. Abby Rush.
That is so awesome. Congratulations for everything that your family is doing. And then also, you're recently inducted into your high school Hall of Fame.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, it was kind of short. And I'll say this in closing. It was kind of short. It was
long overdue.
Yeah, it was. But also, just coming into Oklahoma City has been tough, like these past few months, because, my brother, DJ Rush, had cirrhosis of the liver. He had, you name the illness, he had it. His kidneys were failing. They had to code him twice. I know I'm putting my family business out there, but it was your prayers that got him through that. It was so hard to come in Oklahoma City because I'm always going to Oklahoma Medical. This is like the first time that I come to town where I'm happy and excited to come to Oklahoma City and not worried about my brother, DJ, who is doing well.
I'm so glad to hear that.
He's back in Oklahoma. He's back in Enid, Oklahoma. He's got a new liver. Today, he got to drive his truck for the first time. So
that is incredible.
Oh, God, let's go. People, keep it up. Let's go. You know what you need to do.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And thank you, my warrior friend.
Yay.
I love and appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me come on the show.
Thank you so much. Yakoki.
Yes.
Yakoki, thank you for joining us. Timber People is brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.